When you walk into a massive sports bar or like a high-end casino, there's just this expectation of absolute magic.
Yeah, you see 40 different screens perfectly synced.
Right, crisp 4K video everywhere and absolutely zero cable clutter. You just expect it to work, like flipping a light switch.
But keeping that magic alive behind the drywall, without creating a totally tangled nightmare of copper, is a massive engineering hurdle.
So today for our deep dive, we are pulling the blueprints on how that hidden technology actually operates.
Exactly. Specifically, we are looking at the specs from HDTVSupply for their WolfPack Modular HDMI 2.0 matrix switcher with HDBaseT 3.0.
Okay, let's unpack this. How does a highly customizable 9x9 matrix actually pull off the magic?
Well, to understand the physical matrix box itself, we first need to look at the powerful signal it pumps through the wall.
Right, the backbone of this whole operation.
Yeah, it relies on an AV standard called HDBaseT 3.0.
Usually people compare data networks to a multi-lane highway, but that doesn't really explain how this works.
No, it really doesn't.
With HDBaseT, it is more like a hyper-organized digital shipping logistics system.
Right, because over one single standard Cat6a or Cat7 copper cable, the system is packing massive, uncompressed 4K video, audio, control signals, and actual physical electrical power.
All into tiny, perfectly timed micro packets.
Exactly, and the mechanism there is crucial. It is interleaving those totally different signals so fast and with such precise modulation that the heavy electrical power doesn't fry the delicate video data sharing the exact same wire.
Which is just crazy. And then the receiver on the other end unpacks all those signals in nanoseconds.
Right, so to the human eye, there is zero lag.
Pushing all that mixed data over one wire is impressive. But I look at custom modular chassis systems like this WolfPack Matrix, and all I see is a massive upfront cost.
That was really common reaction.
Really? Like, why wouldn't a business just buy a standard pre-built switcher for a fraction of the price and be done with it?
Well, this raises an important question. Why invest in a modular system at all? If you buy a fixed port switcher, your entire building's AV system is basically locked in amber. If a port breaks or you need to add a screen, you are replacing the entire unit.
Oh, wow. I see the math now.
Yeah, a modular chassis uses hot swappable input and output cards. You only populate the slots you need on day one.
So if that sports bar decides to add an outdoor patio a year later, the owners don't have to rip out thousands of dollars of central hardware.
Or tear up the drywall to run new thick HDMI cables.
An installer literally just walks into the AV closet, slides a $100 expansion card into a blank slot on the matrix in about 30 seconds, and the patio is online.
And customization also dictates how far you can send those signals. The WolfPack has a 30-meter card for local routing.
Like hitting the screens directly above the bar, right?
Exactly. But for a massive casino floor, they use the 100-meter card, pushing that data 328 feet.
Here's where it gets really interesting. These outputs use a feature called PACE, or power over cable. Because the matrix is injecting actual electrical current into that Cat6 data cable, the small TD receiver boxes mounted behind the screens don't even need to be plugged into a wall outlet.
They draw their power directly from the matrix box 300 feet away.
That is wild.
And the 100-meter card also introduces USB 2.0 transmission and audio de-embedding.
Which is a huge deal.
Yeah, you can strip the audio from a sports broadcast and route it strictly to the house ceiling speakers.
Let's translate some of that AV jargon for a second. Because sending USB 2.0 at a distance is a big deal for KVM setups.
Keyboard, video, and mouse, yes.
That means a manager sitting in a back office 300 feet away can seamlessly use their mouse to control a PC or a touch display out in the main lobby.
All over that single data cable. What's fascinating here is how the receiver units paired with these long-distance cards adapt on the fly.
Oh, you mean the DIP switch?
Yeah, they feature a DIP switch. It's a tiny physical hardware toggle switch on the side of the box.
Wait, really?
Yeah, if you flick it with a pen, it physically reroutes the internal circuitry, instantly transforming the unit from a receiver into a transmitter.
That is such a pragmatic time saver.
It really is.
And if you flip it to become a transmitter, it supports an HDMI loop out.
Meaning an installer can plug a small local test monitor directly into the transmitter to verify the video feed is working before sending it hundreds of feet down the line.
You're saving the installer hours of walking back and forth across a massive building just to troubleshoot. So what does this all mean?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the effortless, immersive technology you experience in public spaces relies entirely on this kind of single cable adaptable infrastructure.
Right.
It is what empowers complex environments to shift, grow, and upgrade without requiring catastrophic renovations every time display technology leaps forward.
The next time you watch a game at a massive sports bar, look at the screens and ask yourself, where is the hidden matrix making all those perfectly synced 4K images possible, and just how much unseen data and power is silently pulsing through the walls right beside